What you finding?
Well, I'm looking around through here. We got to cover these carrots up, but I looked and, you know, that's
Well,
big
it's
enough.
got some little hairs on it. Why is it? It ain't supposed to.
Well, they've been in the ground for a long time with that drought we had. And, I'm trying to figure, you know, what do I, you know, if there's any good ones around. I mean,
That one looks good. I seen it.
you know, I mean,
One apiece at least.
we can make some carrot salad stuff here. I'm sitting here.
I see the sneakiness in your mind.
Yeah.
That's some good carrots.
I mean, they're not giant, but they're too thick anyway.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty.
they're very pretty.
So we got to thin these and make some carrot salad, I'm guessing. Gosh, look at that.
Look at that. Yeah. I didn't know they were this big. I come out here to cover them up, and I went to looking around, and some of the tops of them were sticking out of the ground, and I'm like, well, now. That
one right there. Look at that. Ooh.
Look at that.
That's some fat carrots.
Yeah.
These are the Corotas, and they get pretty good size around.
Yeah. They don't get real long, but they get, you know, pretty good. Now, when they're fully mature this spring, they'll probably be that long and
yeah, another 2 inches or 3.
Yeah.
But this is some good carrots.
Yeah, I mean, with this hard freeze coming, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and
get enough to make a meal.
Because I got to thin them out anyway. You know, when you see that orange like that, automatically know I might as well get that one, you know, because it's already sticking up. And when you get them thick like this right here, these ain't never going to do nothing because they just too thick.
And so you had to take one out if it's got some size.
I look for the biggest one, you know, and get one of them out of there.
And so that gives the others a chance?
Yeah, so the other ones have a chance.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh.
You pulled several little ones.
They hooked up in the top and they got pulled up. Well, they'll eat too.
I'll make a salad, I promise you.
They'll eat. They're just too thick. That's what happens when they get too thick.
But this is a beautiful bed of carrots, and we're fixing to cover it. Danny's got his hoops done.
Look at that one.
Wow.
Look at that. Yeah.
Nice. Look at these collards. It's been cold. They're beautiful. I took about, I don't know, maybe a dozen leaves. We're going to have some jalapeno cornbread and collards. I hit both of our food plots that we got, our cover crops. These are mustard greens, so we're going to be washing those and adding them to some of the turnip greens here. So I've got a big mess for those to go with jalapeno cornbread. And look in here. The kumquats were turning, so I took all of them off before we covered the tree, and I probably got 2 dozen kumquats down in there.
All right, guys, we're getting ready for the big time winter freeze coming. We came in here and noticed I was looking at this broccoli. It's not what I really was expecting, but you can see the little flowerets look like they're fixing to try to bust open on it, that light yellow color like that. And I told Wanda, I said, we got this giant freeze coming. We don't know if the plants are going to make it anyway, so let's just go ahead and get this head off of here. Take it in with us to eat. And, oh yeah, that stem's nice and tender. Yeah, we'll take that. It is. It's starting to try to flower. You can see the little flowers opening up on it there. So we're getting this in just at the right time. There's also another one over here. This one here is kind of small too, but it looks like, I can't quite tell. I don't know if the flowerets are trying to open up on it or if it's just making more.
It looks like it's fixing to, so for now.
You think we should just
we're going to have broccoli.
Okay, I'm with you.
And we got carrots and collards and greens and cornbread, jalapeno cornbread.
We're going to leave the rest of them because they're kind of little. I don't know how the freeze is going to affect them. You know, we may lose all of them. I don't know.
But we did cover the tomatoes. They're
covered
blooming
them up
like crazy.
now, and this is going to be the prime situation for us to test these high tunnels out as to what they will actually stand and what plants will it. You know, broccoli's a cold weather plant. Cabbages are cold weather plants. Will it take it? And if it will, we'll know in the future. If it won't, we'll know in the future. But I'd rather know now than in the middle of a crisis. Well, guys, we're back in the other high tunnel now. We got our tomatoes over here. This one is the one that we were so excited about being able to maybe get some tomatoes off of. This one came up in my worm castings. We have no idea what variety it is or anything like that. I know it probably came from one of the hybrid plants we had. But, I mean, look at it, guys. Look at all the tomatoes. I mean, they're everywhere. And they're hanging in big clusters. This is one I would want to save my seeds from. We're actually going to take this one that's already starting to blush on us here. Because we don't want to... We know this is probably going to freeze, but we're hoping. I mean, it's starting to turn. So we're going to save it. And, I mean, there's none of the others that are really big enough to save. Oh, look at our broccoli here. This thing is like massive. I mean, look at it up here. This thing is beautiful. Look at the height of it. It's like 3 feet tall. I mean, that's beautiful. It's got a small head starting. I mean, it's just right when everything's getting ready. I mean, it irritates the heck out of me, but I'm not in control. If you're interested in these high tunnels, I mean, we have a link in the description down below for Grower Solutions. We're very well pleased with all their products. We got the high tunnels from them. We've got the oscillating fans from them and all that kind of stuff. They got all kind of, or the ground cover like we have down here on the floor and everything. We got all that from them. We got irrigation systems from them. They sell tons of stuff that's really, really good for raised beds, gardening. I mean, you name it. They sell all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, you know, you get a 10% off through Grower Solution if you use our link down below. This is about surviving the future. And I want you to stay with us because when this hard freeze is over, we're going to come back and we're going to do a video about what made it and what didn't make it in the high tunnels. And that'll kind of give not only us an idea about what will make it through this hard freezes that's coming, but it'll give you some information also and let you know, hey, is this something I'm interested in? Good morning, everybody. Danny and Wanda back from Deep South Homestead. Welcome to after the massive freeze of 2022. We went around and we covered everything we had that we could cover. And now we're going to see the results to see, was it worth it? Did it work? And where do we go from here? Okay. This one we covered up with a tarp. Now we had to go buy tarp, so I didn't want to have to do that because that was an expensive thing to do. But I wasn't about to lose my food if I could help it. This was a tarp that was 20 by 20. We actually doubled it up so we get more insulation. That's when you got such a large one, so we could fold it over on top of each other. And then we took drill screws and went around and we screwed it off. And now we're going to see the results of doing it on the carrots. So guys, you gonna see it when I see it. Was it worth it? Now, we was 12 degrees was our coldest temperature with wind chills between 0 and 4. And then this is Monday. Our temperature this morning was 24. We've stayed way below freezing every morning. Only 2 days have we got above freezing. One day was for 2 hours, and the other day was like 3 or 4 hours. And today, we're going to have a heat wave. We're going to get up into 50 today. So let's see, was it worth it?
Wow.
Okay, guys. The carrots look like they survived. Oh man, am I excited about that.
They don't look bit back. Maybe a little ends or
There's some
something.
ice on them. Look at the ice on the tips of all of them here. There's
So
still
some
ice.
of it may.
Still won't know till the sun gets warmed up on them whether or not how bad they are, but I think they're gonna be all right.
So that we might lose some tips and some greenage, but still maybe won't lose them.
I believe they growed under that.
Oh, I know they did. They weren't quite that tall.
They weren't that tall until we put that on there. Look at that. I think it actually I think it created some heat under it, and it made them grow.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
Now we've got a little bit more. You can tell like frost on some of them. Those will turn brown. But this is Monday.
Yeah.
And they're still green. Now, some of these bent over and look frosted.
Yeah, they look a little frosted. I think it'll just take some time. We gotta wait till that sun hits them today.
See what happens, and we'll see if they turn brown. But on Monday, since Thursday.
Yeah, they've been covered since Thursday in sub-freezing
Well,
temperatures.
actually,
now I'm gonna tell you this.
Covered Wednesday.
I can tell you they bit pretty hard. You can look up under here. You can tell that's
some of that is
That's all bit pretty hard here along these edges. I mean,
edges.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll have to watch them. If they go to trying to die on us right quick, like we'll jerk them carrots out.
Yeah, we'll just check them. But some of them's pretty and green.
Yeah.
The edges where it was really cold looks bit.
Yeah, it does. And it looks like it's mainly the north side here.
Yes.
Looks like when we got past where the greenhouse started at, they were okay over here.
You got just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right in the...
Where the leaves were hanging out from under the tarp,
the tarp got it, and plus it probably got cold on this side with that wind hitting it.
Tarp was touching it.
But carrots...
God, I'm thankful. Amen. I'm thankful.
We'll check in a couple of days.
Well, we'll watch them all day today because it's supposed to get up to 50. That's a heat wave right now. And we fix to move inside these high tunnels and see what's happening in them. Because I'll be honest with you, I ain't been back in them in a couple of days. All right, let's look in here. Ooh, oh
we
boy.
knew
the bananas are gone.
Yeah.
We knew that.
It's warm in here, actually.
Actually, yeah.
We still got blooms on the strawberries.
Ah, it didn't hurt them strawberries. Look at that.
They're awesome. So the strawberries are good.
Strawberries all good.
Some of these looks like they kind of got cold.
That looks a little bit... I don't know how that's going to work out.
I think it got some of this.
It's going to be hard to tell right now.
Collards. Now that collard did okay. But what is this?
These are rutabagas.
Rutabagas kind of drooped.
They all my rutabagas are drooped.
Yeah, so we'll see. Cabbage. All right, look under the leaf and see.
Now the cabbage looks okay.
That one looks okay.
This one still looks okay.
This one's got a leaf drooped over it. Maybe the leaves protected it.
Maybe they protected it. I don't know.
The leaves don't look burnt.
They don't look mushy looking or burnt.
Now this one's got a little bit of burn or something right there.
A little blight right there. Yeah.
So it may be, but it doesn't look hurt.
That looks hurt. This one still looks pretty good.
Both of these, and they're in the center.
In the black pot here.
Your onions here look okay.
Done okay.
This one seems to be okay because you're getting that sun coming through there every morning. Yeah. This one, a few of the leaves look...
The broccoli looks pretty droopy. Now, I will say this. Nothing has been watered, and that may be what it is.
We may need to water
We may need to water because everything is bone dry. I didn't want the roots getting wet and possibly freezing the plants up in these containers. So what I probably need to do is water. They may be suffering from lack of water.
But it's hard to say.
It's kind of hard.
So we'll come back by tomorrow on these. But
we'll water them today, and then we'll take a look at them and see.
We'll do an update in a day.
Yeah, this was a tomato. It didn't make it. It ain't no need in even saying that one even come close. Now, we didn't cover it, and we knew it probably wasn't going to make it. Okay, the day that it was supposed to get so cold, that night the potatoes was gone. They just knocked all the way to the ground, and rather than lose them, I came in here and chopped them all off. So I would make sure that, hopefully, I mean, they're just like mush here on the floor. I mean, that's...
But they should come back.
They should come back, yeah. This was the pepper that I...
We're just hoping to save the base of it so we have a start on the Fuji jalapenos.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. The leaves didn't even...
They didn't even totally die.
They didn't even die under that plastic. Look at that.
That's the ones you cut off.
These are the ones I cut off. I just stuck them back on here because I was
There's a pepper on that one you just pitched.
Yeah, I saw it. as extra installation on it.
So this was all what he cut off and left just
Yeah.
the stem in the ground so that
I was just using everything I could to cover it up.
All right.
And if that's okay, I'm not worried about the plant that's under it.
The plant should survive and come back out.
Yeah, the plant will survive and come back out. I'm not just leave it like this where the top part of it's exposed.
But the leaves still look healthy.
That pepper, it didn't even hurt it under that plastic
And again,
bag.
it's getting sun
Yeah.
every day once the sun comes out. And we've had sun most days.
We've had sun every day, yeah. I did an experiment. I had cabbages left uncovered, and then I covered some cabbages. Just as an experiment to see.
These look worse for, I don't know. Maybe. This one already had bugs starting on it.
Yeah, this one already had some issues, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think it made a difference.
Covering or uncovering, but the
Covering or
cabbages were so
uncovering.
big we didn't want to.
That's a nice hard head, no bigger than it is.
Yeah, we may be eating cabbage.
We may
Okay.
be eating look at the temperature in here right now.
It's already over
It is.
60.
9:35, 63, 64 degrees.
All right, see what the tomatoes
Now
looking
comes, guys, there's a tomato plant on here that had tomatoes on it. We're going to see if it lived or died.
like. Wow.
Look at that. It didn't hurt it.
It doesn't look burnt.
It's not burnt at all. Isn't that amazing? No heat in the greenhouse.
So we're going to see. You're going to kind of uncover it for today and let it get some sun.
Yeah, I'm gonna
See if you can do that. But, y'all, it didn't freeze our tomatoes. So, I mean, they may have got a little cold, but the leaves still look good. And the tomatoes are still hanging everywhere. We'll see in a day or two. We'll come back and check. But that
Look at
looks...
that. I'm an excited person, yes. It got a little bite on some of the leaves right here. This right here was a pineapple. I just did an experiment with it.
And that's just a little cheap bag. Oh, wow.
Well, it don't look bit.
It don't look bit.
That's a cheap Walmart bag.
But 4 days. And we'll see. Greenhouse number 2.
Greenhouse number 2.
I got my ginger.
Oh, it did get you ginger, huh?
And I was pretty... Oh, we got a bird in here that needs... It needs
how
to
did
get
he
out.
get in here?
I've had one that's been living in here, so you got to fix
Yeah, but
it.
I have this thing closed up completely. He had to come under the door somewhere.
And he probably did, but he wants out.
Yeah, he wants out.
You got to figure him a way out.
Well,
The
ginger's a no-go.
So we're going to have to chop it off. Looks like
You can smell it, too.
the wild lettuce did okay. My flower died,
It died.
but the ginger, you can definitely smell.
Yeah, lost all the pepper here.
All the peppers that I
You
didn't.
need to cut them off at the ground. Maybe the root system's
Yeah,
good.
the root system should stay.
This one's good.
The lavender seems like it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Even this flower, look how green and pretty.
Yep.
It's not totally dead. Over here, the tropical plant that somebody sent me is mush. I don't know if it'll come back. The chard, I had already cut it back, but we'll see. Kale looks like it may come back out. The dill has spots that look like it's come back out. We got to cut all these potatoes off like Danny did, because these were the same age as Danny's, and we're going to cut them off and
They gotta all be whacked off.
see if they'll come back out. This corner just amazes me.
Alabama don't look bad.
This
I
one,
got one of them.
the big one, it got pieces of it that was up next to the wall.
Yeah, it didn't get
But look, this
look
one.
at this one here. It didn't hurt it.
So, and I've got some stashed just in case that I had to
Probably need to take
replant.
the clippers and snappers and snap that off or something.
Yeah, we're going to have to come in here and look at this plant. Still just as green and pretty. It only got part of the pepper, so I'm going to have to trim
ain't that
off the
kinda-
pieces that kind of wilted.
That's kind of strange how it would get
But some
not
of
get
it
all of it.
is
some
still
of it.
green, still coming
Yeah.
out, so we didn't lose all of it. Now, let's look at what's under the tarp.
This is $64,000 question right here.
How much survived under a tarp in the
We
greenhouse?
put something on the tarp here.
Oh, wow. All right, so the lantana is going to be, it may need clipping back.
Yeah.
The peppers, some of it got it, but
Some of it
again,
got it,
some of it is still doing really good. The
Okay.
tomatoes, total flop.
Well, let's just wait and see.
I had some small tomatoes. I see small tomatoes, but maybe the whole plant didn't get it. But a lot of the plant.
The whole plant got it.
See, I see tomato right in there.
There's a tomato right there.
But the whole plant didn't get it.
Yeah, it don't look like all the plant got it.
But the majority.
Now this one here ain't even hurt.
We got one that ain't hurt. Isn't that awesome?
How does that happen?
I don't know. The fern that was kind of under there is okay.
The fern's okay, yeah.
Now let's see with your cabbage and broccolis.
The broccolis is all like yours. It's just powder dry because we ain't watered nothing.
But they're not dead.
They're not dead. Now look at the difference in the temperature. Your greenhouse is in the shade right now, but look at this.
It's just a little over 40 in mine.
Mine was already up in the 60s.
All right, now look at the cabbage. It doesn't look like it hurt the cabbage.
Cabbages don't look hurt.
All these were ready to be harvested anyway, so I'm going to come in here and dig these in a few minutes.
Yeah, these all...
They just went to nothing.
Now these cabbages here...
Might have got cold.
They might have got
the back
dead.
leaves at least, because they're against that.
Yeah, this is hard as a rock. That little head might go ahead and take it.
Yeah.
All right, these are our multiplying onions.
The roots should be okay. The
Yeah.
tops may be a little...
Tops may be a little burnt, but I think they'll be okay. Yeah, they'll be fine.
And we'll come back and rake all the hay off.
Yeah, they gonna make it. They gonna be all right. We got all this hay we can take off of. We just throw it over on the other side over there.
But they look like they're going to be perfectly okay.
Yeah. Well. All right, guys, here we go. I'm trying to keep all this grass seeds and all from falling down in the cabbage.
Woo! It's hard to say if they've been froze or not, but that is a pretty head of cabbage. I mean, they look
Okay.
And they look like they've grown some since we were videoing them.
I think they did.
The outer leaves look wrinkled, but it's because we've had them under here, so
Yeah.
Let's see.
We shall see how they fared on this end.
These were the bigger cabbage heads on this end. I mean, look at the size. This is grocery store size here already. It's hard to say, Papa. They look pretty.
They look pretty.
All except the wrinkledy up
I
leaves.
believe the sun will straighten them out.
We're going to give it a try.
I'm going to leave all this laying just like it is.
Nice little heads of cabbage
Looks good.
still, and they don't have a burnt look. The sun will tell, right?
Sun will tell. There comes my buddy. Say, Mr. Buddy, you were so skittish from me to start with.
He's your friend now.
Now once I started giving you a little sweet seed, you done come to love everything, ain't you? You say, Miss Trixie, huh? What's all y'all doing, huh? Y'all want something to eat? That's all it is. You just want to be fed.
All the cows made it just fine and dandy.
Yep, they made it just fine and dandy.
Here in the herb garden, it got the ginger, the rosemary's burnt back, but Danny covered some rosemary, so see, that one should be...
This one's covered, but the top of it got bit pretty bad.
So it should be okay. But the
rosemary... It burned it all up under it even.
But the rosemary, hopefully, as big as it is, the roots will still be good and it'll come back out.
I hope so.
All the shrimp plant, totally gone.
It's all gone.
It'll all be chopped back. This
like
big citrus tree.
Yeah, we don't even know what that was, if it's just an Osage orange or if it's actually make a citrus or not. But
It got the leaves on it. They're curled.
this was a makeshift thing on a citrus, and I don't actually know what's the best way to uncover it, but
It needs to come out from the bottom. There we go. It's starting. Oh, wow. Now, some of the leaves might have got burnt some, but for the most part, they still look good.
it still looks pretty good. Of course, I just dropped this right here beside it because we may have to have it back.
Yeah. But maybe we save the base on the tree. That's our whole goal, is to save the base of the trees that we don't lose them.
Yeah. All right.
Danny really did a number on this one to try and protect it because we did not want to lose the orange tree.
Tent stakes. I don't even know where they're all at. I just know I got them. There's one up on the yonder. I knew we was going to have that high wind. Another one we bought, a 20 by 20 tarp. These things were like $50-something a piece. And you go and buy these trees, they're like $30 to $60, so the tarps to us, if it works, was worth it.
That's a big tree to have to fight with. Still looks green, and some of the leaves are still looking nice. Some of them, it's hard to say. It did not freeze, doesn't look like, but
I think we did okay.
We'll see how many fall off in the next few days.
These will probably fall off right here.
Yeah, that was the top.
Very top, a few of them might fall off. But what we did was we piled hay around the bottom, really tight, way up high up into the tree, and put blankets on it, just in case the top of the tree froze. What I'm looking at is the bark. It may have froze. I can't tell. That bark is, I can't tell if it's just wet.
It's wet.
Or if it's got ice on it. It's hard.
But it's hard to tell yet.
See how it's all done in here?
Yeah.
It's all wet. It's going to be really difficult to know.
For another couple of days.
Yeah. Now we do have a citrus tree behind the house back here that came from a seed that my wife that passed away planted, I don't know, 20-something years ago maybe. All right, guys, this tree right here, we didn't cover it. It's just a natural come from a seed, and it makes tangerines or whatever, satsumas or whatever it ends up being. But
didn't cover it, didn't do nothing.
Did nothing to it, and it don't look like it's hurt.
The leaves even look better than the one we covered.
Now some of them have shed. You see on the ground down here.
Yeah, they'll fall if they don't.
Yeah, it's dropped a lot of its leaves.
So I look for some more to drop.
I think so.
I don't think it killed the tree.
Well, it don't look like it did. The garlic's okay. Well, tops got bit. The ones that was up under it did okay, but the tops that were out got bit, but the garlic up under it's okay. Matter of fact, I think I'm probably going to leave this and just let it grow up through it.
Yeah.
I think it done okay.
The bottom should be fine.
Yeah,
Keep
I
going.
think the bottom of it's fine. The cover crop's gone, guys. It was pitiful to start with. It's really pitiful now. It killed every one of them greens. Now, whether they'll sprout back from the root or not, I don't know. They may actually come out and do better. Who knows? But the onions we had here.
These are the little ones from seed.
These are the ones we planted from seed. And it looks like they're okay. It's just going to take going down through here with a rake and just kind of maybe
uncover them so they can get some sun.
Yeah, just uncovering them a little bit where they can get a little bit of get them.
They look like they're going to be okay, maybe.
I think they're all right.
Now let's look at the ones that were from Dixondale.
Okay.
These are the ones from Dixondale.
Yep, these were the Dixondale
they
onions.
They were bigger onions.
They got bit back pretty bad.
Yeah, some of it because they were so tall.
Yeah.
But the roots, maybe. Once we get it all out, we'll just have to see. They'll continue.
I think they got bit back worse than the other ones.
I do too. They look worse than the little ones.
Yeah, they look like they're...
Goes to show you the size of plant don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it.
But now the base maybe still okay, so we'll see.
Right, we'll have to see.
Some of them still standing up pretty and green around the base.
Yeah, we've got to take a rake and come back.
We'll see. If you don't pull all the leaves off.
I'll think about this.
All right. It's hard to say, but
A little kumquat might have made it.
it looks all right.
So far, it looks pretty good.
It kept the bark from freezing, maybe. That would be the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's just
And this was
Satsuma.
yeah. Well, it's hard to say, but it looks like the leaves, they may curl up and fall off, but
The main thing we were after was preserving this grass, you know, where we didn't lose our
the
grass.
bark and the root.
Yeah. Now may have to come back because fire ants may start building up around this, but we got to check our trees in the barn because we got a whole bunch of them in the barn covered up and see if it made a difference putting a tarp over them in the barn.
Oh, and the rabbits did okay. Didn't you, Missy? They like the habitats.
Yeah, the rabbits turned out.
The females stayed in their boxes, both of them. The males, they just
bundled up in it.
They just hop around and they stayed all bundled up in their hay.
And we got to get that hay out of there today.
Missy, she's just all over the place today.
Yeah, she is just all kind of. She hears my voice.
Ah, the kumquat. He's still hanging on. We'll know if they start falling off.
Yeah, I think everything did all right. These trees in here look good. I think they, I actually see a bloom under yonder.
Really?
Yeah. Look right there. That tree got blooms all over. Putting underneath that tarp, it got warm in here. It's starting to bud out. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that amazing? Well, I'm going to probably leave them in the barn for quite a while longer. I just want to uncover them. And all I can say is that God was good, it looks like. I don't think we've lost anything. And I want to praise Him for that. And just ask that we're able to get this stuff back out and get it taken care of here. I'm not going to put it back outside because we still got February and March to go. And if any of you know anything about the Deep South, February and March, if we're going to ever have any bad weather, cold, that's when we get it. Because it snowed in March, it snowed in April here. Them freak storms dip down in here, and with the weather today, who knows? So, guys, we just want to take y'all along and show you the results of the effort that we put forth to try to preserve what we had. And I think that what we done worked out pretty decent. We couldn't save everything, but what we did put effort out on, I think the Lord blessed, and we're able to move forward now from this point forward. I just pray that you all fared as well as we did here at the Deep South. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.